Ladies and gentlemen, very good afternoon to you. It's that hour, 12 noon Nigerian time, when we go on to the Nigerian exchange and, of course, look for opportunities once again as we bid the week farewell, the very last trading day of the week. And we are here again, as usual, consistent, staying invested, and we keep going. Thank you very much for joining. I am your wealth creation enthusiast with a passion for helping individuals and organizations build their corporate and personal net worth via investing in the capital markets and the money markets. So once again, we are looking for legitimate income and nothing else so that we too can grow wealth from the little that comes to us by way of earnings in our businesses in terms of profits and, of course, salary income as well. So whatever you do, as long as you are able to attract some level of income to yourself, there is the need for you to continue to build wealth because wealth cannot be gotten by labor. That's why on the rich list in the world, up till this very moment, no one of them became wealthy by salaries. Okay? So we have that wisdom, and that's what we're applying using the capital market to find our way up the wealth ladder. As usual, I will go through a review of what has happened yesterday in the markets, just a reminder for everyone who is here. And then, of course, we proceed to your comments. And any other information in the market out there will be shared while we proceed to take up your comments as much as possible. You know how we do it on Fridays. Our calls will begin at 12:45 instead of 1 p.m. That's in order to accommodate as many calls as possible. So you want to make your comments come in thick and fast as usual. Just go ahead and keep repeating your comments. Just keep copying and pasting them as often as you will until I am able to catch it. All right. We go again today. And of course, we have our moderators, Maobi on TikTok, Gratitude Boss, Rehoboth, and of course, Oremos. And then we're still waiting to get some presence on Instagram, by way of moderators. So they will be responding to some of the questions I might have touched. For those who will be asking repeated, already revisited questions. All right. And then, as usual, we will get you talking, like I said. So let's go ahead to the next item on our agenda today. Report of the stock market performance yesterday. It will interest you to note that profit taking led to a lot of losses, about 357 billion naira loss recorded as a whole in the entire NGX. I know some of your portfolios losses are also included in this particular summary. And of course, we know how we do it. There comes a time when stocks are jumping. There comes a time also when they are dragged down back to earth. But I can tell you, I promise you, none of those insurance stocks will ever return to where they were before. So equity investors lost 357 billion yesterday as investors sold down interest in some listed companies on the NGX. And that led to the all-share index dropping 39 basis points to close the day at 145,300.01 points, driving other key performance indicators southwards. We all understand this, we witnessed this, and also I'd like you to know that you are in a community where we know how to handle situations like this without having to panic like we don't know what we are doing. Of course, risk comes from not knowing what you are doing, and when you don't know what you are doing, then there's a problem. But you know what? We are settled. Already, a lot of what is happening in the insurance industry, we have predicted, and we are repositioning to take a final long-term position in that sector. So we go again. Top of the day to you, Maobi. It's good to have you back here. You are doing great. Once in a while, when you are off, it almost looks like, well, other businesses have to be taken care of. But you see, he says, nice to be here today on this red day. It's only in a community like this that you see people smiling on a red day. You know why? Because it offers more opportunities to stack up these stocks. Eventually, you will not be able to, you won't even bother when the market is dipping. Most people, even in this recent dip, are still in very good profit. That's the beauty of belonging to a community that knows how to navigate all market scenarios, from when it's a bull market to when it's a bear market. A lot of people hopped into stocks when the market was soaring, because that's when you hear all the good things about what is happening in the market. But that's not when to buy. Just like I posted on Instagram yesterday, I said that Ethereum, which is a cryptocurrency, was hovering around $4,700 per coin, and that is just $200 short of the all-time high set in 2021. Guess what? And I stated clearly that's not the time to buy Ethereum, because this same Ethereum dipped to far below 4,000 earlier this year, if not below 3,000 at some point. But guess what? It's now above all of those dips that it dropped to. So don't rush into the market because everybody else is buying. Make sure you are taking position in the right places. For instance, UNH. Oh my God. Is there anybody who bought UNH here? I'd like you to indicate United Health. I made several posts about United Health, spoke about it a lot here and on all my social media handles. And after making those posts, people still come to ask, should we buy now? I don't understand. I have made my research and made out a post. I know how long it takes to release a post. And then somebody still comes and still asks, should we buy now? I don't really understand. Okay? So what has happened to UNH is that just yesterday also, I think the day before, I posted that Warren Buffett will be making public some of the stocks he recently entered. Guess what? He went into UNH, bought about 5 million shares of UNH. I was about making that post now before I came out. Oh, fantastic. Fuzzy Tom, you bought UNH, sit tight there. You are in some good money going forward in the long run. Warren Buffett bought 5 million shares of UNH. And I made that announcement. I said I've taken a dive into UNH. I remember even stating it in our Net Worth Investors Club foreign stocks channel. And I remember someone like Luke, one of our admins, also went in straight up and announced that he bought. But guess what now? What that tells us is that somehow, some way, we are getting a few things right. We are thinking like Warren Buffett. That's what is happening. So if you bought UNH when it was announced here, congratulations. Big congratulations, because that's some good USD coming to you by way of, what do you call now? By way of capital gains. If I go onto the charts, latest situation with UNH, sorry, we're having to start with that because I may not remember to talk about this, but this is just to tell you how wide. So when you don't see me comment too much in our Discord app, it's because I'm looking for opportunities. And if we're getting it this right, then forget it. There's no better place to be. Yesterday, UNH closed at $271 per share. Some people actually bought UNH as low as 240 something after I posted. Do you know what? As I speak to you in pre-market, UNH has jumped to $301 per share. Interesting, isn't it? All right. Can we buy more today? I want to add UNH. That's coming from a Beautifying Shop. Well, this jump, I don't know how long it will last. Usually, when the market opens and some stocks are jumping, it will eventually take a dive. But this is completely different because the news about Warren Buffett taking position, and of course, knowing fully well that this used to be a $600 per share stock that crashed to $200 and something. You can imagine whether or not it will really come down. Okay, as at April, it sold for $600 in April, around April 11th or so. That's how expensive this kind of stock was. So you are not too far if you want to take a long-term position. I can tell you that. I can assure you, barring any form of dip after it jumps at market open, there is a chance that you make a lot of money because it hasn't really recovered well enough from the 250, 245 that it crashed to. So it was just managing to come up to 271, and then the news broke out. How it has spread, I don't know, but at this point, it's already back up to 300. Whether it goes below 300 or not, I don't know. So a strategy to go with this, even if you are coming in a little bit late, but it's not late at all if you consider how high it can rise to. Because even at 300, it means it can still do 100% to get back to where it was in April. We are not saying it's going to happen overnight, but that's one sure banker where a stock where you can really put in money and stay comfortable because the fundamentals are excellent. Everything that went wrong with the stock, I took a good look at it and thought, come on now, these are unusual concerns that does not affect the fundamentals too much. Therefore, I would rather stick to it and stay there. UNH, the worst performer in the Dow Jones Industrial Average listings, eventually is rising again. It will interest you to note that their earnings per share is $2.94, almost $3 per share. Net income of 14 billion from a revenue of 400 billion. So there is nothing wrong with the fundamentals. Everything about UNH is great. Sorry, I have to go this way. Perhaps that's maybe, just maybe, there could be some money for some people who will be here to capitalize on this. As long as you have the patience to stay on, then it's still open for purchase. And then if it ever drops below 300 after you have bought, you go there and buy more. That's the way to do a stock like this because it's a very sound stock. So I'm happy to let you know that in this community, somehow, some way, we are also thinking like Warren Buffett. Interesting, isn't it? Okay, so we proceed right away to the next item on the agenda already. I'm taking your comments. So keep them coming in. And if you are not following me, you are losing money, I can tell you for free. And so many others who are in this community can now attest to that. Imagine if you bought UNH, and you know, when I don't like making posts like, if you bought NVIDIA 10 years ago, you would have been so in billions. No, I don't like that. So we are looking for those stocks that people will start talking about 5 or 10 years after. And will start telling us, oh, if I had bought this stock, I would have been this. And we would come out and say, we actually bought those stocks. And here we are. Right? So that's what we are doing here. Do not miss UNH if you missed initially under 300 naira, under $300. Yes, coach, please be my senior now. Clean, I don't understand that. Anyway, the honcho says, coach, please talk about Fidelity. The waiting train is tiring. The honcho, it's not tiring. It's you who needs some dose of patience. You are not in a get-rich-quick scheme. And let me also announce, once again, as usual, the stock market is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Even though sometimes it surprises us with quick rewards, let's stay grounded. You are investing in your future. Even you, as a human being, was not created in a haste. In fact, after you were born, everybody swallowed the patience pill to wait for you to grow and develop. From not being able to sit, they managed to help you sit. And then from not even able to move from one spot to the other, you started crawling. They still waited for you to start walking because you couldn't even run. You will stand, stagger, and fall several times. You eventually found your footing and stood and then started running. You are now an adult today. It's the same natural process. As long as you are on this earth, you've got to have patience if you want to succeed. Because the thing that is making you feel like this is not moving, that is not moving, will eventually push you out of that stock just when that stock is about to move. We are not investing for a stock to move. We are building a legacy of wealth that will protect us ahead of time. Imagine the MD of Fidelity Bank. She bought Fidelity Bank shares at 20 naira per share. I think she bought it at 20 naira per share bought substantial, about 300 million or something like that. And then it dipped to 17 naira, 30 kobo and 50 kobo. Some people bought and just kept quiet right here in this community. So being the CEO, she bought at 20. There are people who even bought less than she did. And everybody just stay impatient. Will you throw away your business because you have not started seeing the yield that you anticipated? So part of my job here is to give you what you can get by watching videos and contents about investing, because the practical lessons of patience is what I teach here. Now you are in that boat, that stock that is refusing to move. Now you will have to develop practical patience, all right? Otherwise, okay, in the next 2 months, Fidelity is going to pay dividend. Is that the kind of stock you are worried about and you want to jump out of because you have not seen capital gains yet? Is that? Because perhaps some of them that are looking interesting in your eyes will not pay you any sort of dividend. What if their third quarter result comes out and they smash everything and begin to pay as much as maybe UBA is paying, and the stock price jumps to 30? You would have jumped out. Stay calm. All right? To be honest, if not for the patience I wore as my sunscreen, the dips I am seeing now are devastating. Okay, and she's still able to go ahead and smile. You see that? That's the kind of inner strength and character you need to succeed. I bought NACO 9 naira, it dipped to almost 7 naira. And then from nowhere, boom, 20 naira, 45 naira, 50 naira, 90 naira, 107 naira. In the midst of that rise, there were dips, some of them crazy. Okay? It's the way of the market. If you will not endure that, you will not see that stock you hold now rise from 20 naira to 100 naira. You won't. Can I tell you this? A target price was set for Zenith Bank by an analyst, and they are saying Zenith Bank should be selling in the next 1 year for at least 107 naira per share. But you know what? The stock price will not jump today because people will keep buying and selling, and all sorts of things will keep happening. So everybody needs time. This same Zenith Bank and GT Bank, can I tell you this? They were selling their initial public offer was 5 naira per share. Zenith and GTCO, I remember clearly how they were founded by their founders. GTCO was founded by Fola Adeola and what's his other name now? One of them is late. It's I'll remember his name soon. Then Zenith was founded by Jim Ovia. As at the time they were founding these banks, 1990, they met for GT Bank, they met Dangote to invest, right? Tayo, thank you very much. Darren Fagbure, thank you very much. Tayo Aderinoko, I keep forgetting his name. He's the one that is late now, right? They too founded GT Bank, and one of the people they approached for seed capital was Dangote. That time, Dangote invested, and some time ago, many years after, they interviewed Dangote and asked him, okay, you were part of those who co-funded GT Bank at the early stages. What do you think about the stock's performance, and what do you want to do? Are you looking at selling and taking profits? Because they did the first public offer 5 naira per share. They did the second public offer after some years 10 naira something per share. And it was around that 10 naira something per share period he had this interview. And he said clearly that he could sell any other stock in his investment portfolio, but there are some that are not for sale. And he clearly stated GT Bank is one of them. I learned one very good lesson that day, that GT Bank was going to be a solid stock. And today we see it from 5 naira, 10 naira, we are talking of 100 and something. And I know that a lot of people have sold, knowing how the trend of today is 20 naira, tomorrow is 15 naira, and the next tomorrow is 25 naira, it comes down to 20 naira. Some people have done buying and selling and all that. But here is a bank now suddenly paying over 8 naira per share in total dividend. So for someone who bought the public offer at 5, that person eventually is receiving much more, over 100% as dividend yield. You bought a stock 5 naira, they are paying you 8 naira total dividend every year. Come on now. That's what we're talking about, right? Okay, so let's get this straight. Stay in the stocks you are buying, especially if they are for the long term. Please, coach, is UACN a good buy now? Glory Udume. Actually, UACN, I have mentioned severally, is a good buy for anybody who has the patience for long-term positioning in that stock. I'll give you another quick analogy of why it is a good buy. Ordinarily, UACN would have eventually touched 70 or at least 65, right? But what catapulted it from around 50 something to the 100 and something we saw it was the news that they were going to acquire Chi Limited, the juice and yogurt manufacturing arm of Coca-Cola Nigeria. Now, Chi Limited are the manufacturers of Five Alive and all those juices, Chi Vita, and all manner, right? The market reacted immediately to what the actual valuation should be if that business is added to what UACN does already. And by the way, nobody knows because that's a private business. Valuation really has not been done. So if the stock jumped to 100 naira and has now suddenly reversed to 71 naira, in fact, the first day I started talking about UACN is looking more than attractive now was when it dropped to 68. Some of you remember it was 3 days ago or so, right? And I'm sure some people would have bought. So why is it suddenly selling at 70 something? Something that has added another business to it that will surely improve the future performance of the business. Simple. Hot money ran into UACN, hot money is running out, and therefore the price is now irrational or abnormal. So what do? You find a stock like this, you take position there. As long as you are going for the long term, stop behaving as though you are investing in one get-rich-quick scheme and being in a hurry. This is not any of such, without mentioning any type. Stay calm. You are buying a part of a business when you buy stocks. Understand it this way and go to bed. Rather look for more money from time to time, depending on how frequently you get funds. That's all. And stay calm. People have been in this market 10 years. Others have been in this market 5 years. Some have been in this market 20 years. I have been in this market 27 years. That's not 27 days. So it takes time to see the wealth that you want. And those are the kind of wealth that will endure. Don't look for fleeting wealth. It's here today, gone tomorrow. If you come to the market with that approach, that's what you will experience. 1 minute you have billion, the next minute is disappeared because of your irrational approach to investing. All right, at what rate can I bid for Wapik Insurance and VFD Group? I saw VFD Group, that's coming from Chomilicious. I saw VFD Group this morning as low as 11, and I was really surprised at what an opportunity that company continues to offer. 11.90 kobo current price of VFD Group, and we're seeing 6.5 million bids versus 5.9 million offers. So the bids are more than the offer. Any moment it will go to 12 because that's the lowest offer, while the highest bid is at 11.90 kobo. So I think it's something you should just snap up. 11.90 kobo, very good price for VFD. All right. Words of wisdom: no child developed in a day. Wait for growth. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you, coach, for the encouragement. As per my long term, I am stacking up on all my valuables. Interesting. Good one. Coach, what can you say about NPF, Microfinance Bank, Cornerstone, AXA Mansard for long term? Cornerstone and AXA Mansard, very good for long term based on the insurance sector um, reform. Nigerian Police Force Microfinance Bank, well. You will need a lot of patience. I have said it severally. That bank is very good in terms of how they try to create value and pay dividend consistently. It's just not a fan's favorite, if you like, such a stock that everybody wants to have. And that's why it's slow in its growth. But time will tell. If you are patient enough, you may want to go for it and stay patient in it. Right? Good morning, coach. I want to stack up Jaiz. Should I wait or go in now? Darin Fagbure. Let me see what's happening with Jaiz. I said it earlier that 5 naira 50 kobo it got to, there's going to be a serious pullback. And any entry should be after that pullback. All right? Good. Yesterday it closed at 5 naira 20 kobo. Today it's 5 naira 95. And we're still seeing some more offers than bids. 8.5 million bids, offers, 3 million bids. Okay, and today is actually a good time to hunt for bargains like this. The ideal price I would love you to have gone in for Jaiz is if it ever touches 4 naira 50 kobo, but it won't today because the maximum, the least price it can ever sell today, following the going by the rules of 10% maximum loss or gain, is 4 naira 68 kobo, and that's at the bottom rung of all bids right now. So we do not know if next week the selling pressure will still be on. Therefore, but I'm still having a feeling that it could sell less than the 4 naira 95 kobo I'm seeing it right now, because there are some offers that are still at 4.95. Today being Friday, I'm seeing 1 million bids at 1 million shares bidded for at 481. So I should think around 480 could be a first tranche entry bid that could sell today. Then we wait to see what happens on Monday. Should the selling pressure continue, then it could sell even lower. If it does, you amass some more. I just know it can't continue at 5 indefinitely. So this is that pullback. We do not also know how low or how long the pullback will last. So taking first tranche position at 4 naira 80 kobo is a good start. But you will have to queue behind 2.7 million bids at 480 and above currently existing in the market. Engam Fashion says, good afternoon, coach. Why are all the insurance stocks that was on full bid this week with no offer, currently on full offer with no bid? This question is almost as though you have been absent all along, because I kept talking about this severally from last week. The market doesn't move on a straight line, never. Even the most sought after stocks eventually become so available. For instance, most of you have experienced a stock like TIP, went so scarce, jumping from 13 to 17 before pulling back. But it's back down to earth again. So what really happened was the simple, basic economic principle of demand and supply mechanism working in the market. When there is strong demand for a particular item, too much money chasing a particular item, that item becomes expensive and therefore scarce. But there comes a time when there's too much supply of that item and lesser demand for it. That particular item becomes cheaper. So what has happened with insurance stocks is simple. There was a great demand for insurance stocks after the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act 2025 was signed into law. Insurance stocks jumped in price because of consistent demand for the stock. But you know what? There was hot money simply short-term funds chasing stocks to make quick gains. So hot money chased after those stocks, took position. For those days they kept on rising, and it was now time to pull out and take profit. So that sudden supply of these stocks, too much of the supply, and of course the prices have gone up. People are now weary of buying. For instance, an IECO that was selling at 170 kobo for so long, so several months, suddenly now selling at 4 naira plus. People were now weary with the too much supply in the market. So that's what's happened with the insurance sector. Let us not waste too much time there. I've said a whole lot about it. So it's a wave of demand and supply, a wave of demand and supply. It will keep happening. This is round one. First batch of so much supply back into the market. After some days of trading, maybe up to next week, they will start drying up again. And then, of course, prices will start trying to get back up. We will see this throughout until the real insurance industry capitalization exercise kicks off. Okay? All right. Okay. Good afternoon, Coach. Throw more light on OPFI and also between UBA Access and Fidelity. Which would you recommend? Okay, Oma Beauty. I will go straight to the second question. Unfortunately, this thing keeps scrolling. I hope it doesn't disappear. Between UBA Access and Fidelity, I see a lot of upside in Fidelity, so I'll go with Fidelity. And the fact that they'll pay something reasonable in their interim dividend as well. If they paid as much as 85 kobo interim dividend last year, when Zenith and GT were paying 1 naira per share, though UBA paid 2 naira then there's a lot to get from Fidelity, unless they're not able to meet up that same dividend payout. Otherwise, then I'll go with UBA instead. The three banks are actually very promising because Access, I have a strong feeling there is going to be a great improvement if they ever proceed with paying a better dividend this year, as promised by the MD, Group MD and CEO Ike Imokwede. Okay, so if they do better, then Access has a very good chance to give UBA and FBNH a chase. All right, while I'm still talking here, somebody went in and bought Jaiz Bank at 4.99, but never mind, that's just a fake attempt to raise the price, because I'm seeing the quantity 100 shares 4.99 just to scare people, whereas there are still more offers than bids. So don't be scared, don't panic, stay patient, and strike at the appropriate time. Okay, keep your comments coming in. Remember, at exactly 15 minutes before 1 p.m. Nigerian time, we will proceed with taking your calls on TikTok. How much can I bid for Fidelity today? That's Boss Beats. I think 20. Let's see. Today is Friday. Some weary sellers will soon come into the market. By the way, Dangote Sugar is trying to make some reasonable moves. 56 naira from 52.50 yesterday. So you asked of Fidelity, how much can you bid? Currently 20 naira 90 kobo, 10 kobo down from yesterday. Let's see, there is a strong bid at 2085, 500,000 bids. Shares bidded for. Okay, that's the low or the highest bid so far at the moment. 500,000 bids by one person at 20 naira 85 kobo. Not bad, looks good, but maybe 2080 will be a reasonable price, because I'm seeing that the bids are still less than the offer. 17.7 million bids versus 30.5 million offers. So looks good. If you are not following me, you are losing money. And please be informed, as usual, The ideas and the opinions shared in this live stream are entirely personal and not investment advice. Please do your due diligence. I'm only here to guide you. And of course, we end up celebrating together. Is there a way to know when a market is being manipulated? Louisa Oge, it's somehow easy to see, but the word manipulated really cannot be substantiated because there are a group of dealers in the market called market makers that companies engage to help their stock prices either stabilize or create some level of activity. Of course, as long as they keep to the rules of the game, they are really not manipulating. Okay, so it's difficult to say a clear-cut manipulation is happening, but you can really tell when some market makers are working on a stock. You will see heavy supply, for instance, but all of those supplies are at the highest prices for the day, which nobody is ready to buy, especially when the stock is not really in a hotly chased by the market. So when you see something like that, they are just trying to discourage price from climbing, perhaps because whoever is interested and engaging their services is trying to buy the stocks or accumulate it at a particular price before letting it fly. Yes? All right. Gentlemen and ladies, in 9 minutes, the TikTok line will be open for greater participation in terms of calling in for this program. Please explain Presco's 100% equity acquisition in Ghana oil palm and proposed Saro palm. Song, I said this, I broke this news several months ago, and I'm sure our people here can attest to that. If you were here when I spoke about Presco acquiring a business in Ghana, can you indicate true? Just type true. I want to clarify something. You know, a lot of times the hottest news in the market is shared here. Quick opportunities. So it's almost like, well, okay, thank you very much. I'm seeing your truths. Thank you so much. I have my witnesses here. Okay. Instagram is not scrolling. Let me see if I can see through there also. Okay, thank you very much. I'm seeing the truths also. Several months ago, this news was broken to us, and that also helped some people take more position in Presco. That was before it got up to 1,000 naira per share. Currently, never mind, Presco is around 1,004 or 1,500 per share. So these are legitimate ways we react to market news. That was when Presco did the 100 mil, is it 100 billion? 100 million? Remind me now. I think it's 100 million. No, it's not 100 million. Is it 100 billion? I've forgotten now. They did a commercial paper. That commercial paper offering that Presco did was actually meant to also fund that transaction. So before our very eyes, I did that analysis and I said, Presco has gone international, and now that opening in Ghana allows them to earn foreign exchange. 100 billion commercial paper. Thank you very much, Maobi. I'm wondering, is 100 billion now too big in my head to mention regarding Presco? Well, 100 billion, and I stated in that, when I was talking about that Presco has just opened themselves up for major foreign exchange inflow in terms of revenue. And that has not reflected in their report yet. But in this 2025 full year report that will be published in January, February next year, you will see the effect of that business. Yes. So that's it. Hello, coach. Which stock will you recommend for 1.5 million today? We've been looking at some good stocks that have pulled back and are looking interesting. I've already mentioned the UACN, still at 76.90. If you take a look back at the premium board, if you are on Atlas, you will find Zenith at 71. And it's looking interesting because Zenith may not close any more than 71 for now, seeing there are 13 million offers versus 4.7 million bids. So in the end, Zenith is still looking good at 71. Whether it will drop to 70, I don't know. There is a chance it could, depending on how desperate sellers are. Around 70 naira 20 kobo could be a good entry price for Zenith. Currently 71.65 though. What gives me that confidence is 13 million bids versus, 13 million offers, far more than the 4.7 million bids. Yes, and then Dangote Cement intraday continues to sell cheaper. So if you want to play smart, put in a bid at 520 naira 10 kobo per share for Dangote Cement, only 41,000 bids versus 783,000 offers. But you know what? The price will not change because when the market closes, it goes back to 577 since nobody is able to match the 100,000 transaction threshold for the day. That's another very good situation. Remember this Dangote Cement, I've started mentioning Dangote Cement at 480 or so. It's now 520 intraday, but closes at 577. So we are still watching, staying patient. Then, of course, there's also WAPCO. After that initial jump to about 150 something naira, WAPCO is back down to 138 and has been consolidating. Should there be no further pullbacks in the market, should there be no further slowdowns in the market, then WAPCO might just have arrived at a good price to enter for the future. Okay, please coach, what's your recommended stock now to December? Well, December is not the right time to sell stocks because at that point stock prices will be dropping. So if you buy a stock today and nothing significant happens until December, then you decide to sell, then you are selling at a loss. So you may want to reorganize your strategy and reschedule when you are looking at pulling out. Better to pull out January, February, and then of course between now, January and December, there's not much difference, or February and December, not much difference. So you want to extend till about that time. Then these stocks I've just mentioned are good enough. Coach, please, I bought Bua Cement at 73 months ago. Now I want to buy more. What price would you advise? Oseni Hendricks, you are in such good profit. You are more than 100% already in profit. Currently, Bua Cement is on full offer. As we speak, I want to check what it is right now, but before I came on live, I saw Bua was in full offer, including Bua Foods. No, I'm not sure Bua Foods. So Bua Cement 2.9 million offers, 0 bids. The same with Bua Foods, yes, 1.9 million offers, 0 bids. We're used to this. The price is currently at 151. The lowest price you can sell for today. So if you want to top up, that's you buying more than double the price you initially bought. The ideal thing to do is to wait and see if the price drops further next week, because the fact there are no bids, though 238,000 shares have been bought. Whether this is a plan to just make it scary to buy and leave the price hanging at this point, I can't tell. But what I am sure of is one of the ways you can take advantage of a situation like this is to wait until you start seeing offers again. When you start seeing offers, you know that interest is building up again and price may change. At 151 now, down from the 168 it closed yesterday, we are also not sure whether 100,000 transactions at once has been done amongst the 238,000 shares traded so far. That's the only reason why it can close at 151. If not, the price reverts back to 168. So the ball is in your court to decide whether to pick some at 151 and wait to see if it drops further from next week in order to take more in, or to completely stand by and hope that it drops to 151 at the end of trading today in order to take position next week at a lower price. Gentlemen and ladies, the lines will now be open. It's 12:45 p.m. Nigerian time. And so all who are on TikTok, you are free to call in as we make continuous progress. Sir, Guinness and RT Briscoe still on full offer. I want to average up. How should I go about it? Woody, I will check immediately and revert right away while we wait for calls to come in. Guinness, first of them all. 140 naira, down from 155, full bid. Again, this same thing happened yesterday. Was 155 opening price, selling at 140, never closed at 140. It has repeated it again. Like I said, in the case of Bua, the ideal situation would have been to wait and watch it drop. But it is going to refuse to drop. Guinness is a very stubborn stock. Can you imagine that almost nearly 3 hours after trading, what we see here is Guinness selling just 24,000 shares. So even the stock is refusing the price to drop in spite of a full offer situation. So you know what? You may want to take a bit at 140 and wait to see if it drops. So you don't miss out if next week there is a renewed buying interest and the price now shoots above the 155. All right, that's my advice for Guinness. And then the other one you mentioned was, what was the other one again? This thing scrolls very fast. Okay, RT Briscoe. If you bought lower, let's see what the situation is currently. I am waiting for CNG news for RT Briscoe. RT Briscoe currently 388. It's not on full offer though. There are 1 million bids still standing by versus 8 million offers. This one will continue to dilly-dally left, right, and center. Who wants to accumulate are actually accumulating, and then eventually anything can shoot it above 4, and we see how it goes from there. All right, so at this point you could get in with a bid at say 3.58 naira, less than the 388 it currently sells for, considering the fact there are more offers than bids. All right, okay, where are my callers? Let's go on to the call lines. Maobi is available today, so automatically comes in, and even if he has a comment afterwards, he will stay behind. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, Hello, good afternoon, Coach.
Our
Nice to
technocrat.
be here
We are glad to
again
have you
today.
here. You forgot to give us
I'm
any
glad to be
insight.
here. I believe.
You forgot to give us a few insights regarding your trip to China. Some people don't know that there are business magnets here also involved. Give us a little bit of insight.
Definitely, we
Find any
can.
stock in China
Yeah,
for us
definitely.
to key into.
We can talk about that on a very special day. But today, let's talk about the market and
All right.
the up and downs that we are all seeing in the market here today. I'll be hanging on here in case anybody wants to speak. I'll be more than happy to help out. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we go on to, I saw Pastor J. Pastor J is the first after Maobi, and then we'll go on with JK Money, Rainforest, and Lexi. Let's see how it goes. Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. This is
Thank you for joining. Please go ahead as the protocols demand. Tell us where you're streaming from and your name.
My name is Julius. I'm streaming from Sweden. I used to call you Pastor Coach.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, Julian.
Thank you
go ahead.
Thank you for all you do. Sincerely, I just channel my foreign portfolio on 212, and is all of them almost green out of about 20 stock. About 3 are red. And I never expect that I'll make such. Thank you very much for that. I really
Awesome.
appreciate it.
Awesome.
Then on my Nigerian stock, no, there was a time he asked us to buy GTCO, London stock. So I downloaded eToro and I took some position there. But I realized that it's never traded, it never moved. I tried to check when the market is open. It's never. I just want to see why, or should I sell off and take position in another market, another stock? That's two. Then lastly, Seplat. Yes, Seplat is quite expensive. I'm thinking of taking position in Seplat, but the reason is that I saw numerous payouts, dividend payouts. I want to be sure, is it actually true? They pay 4 times in a year, almost 3 times around May, June, and I think, yeah, May, June. I think April, May, June. I think 3 times they pay, and they pay one in around November. I want to be sure. Is it what I can just take position and just keep enjoying their stuff because their dividend seems to be quite huge?
Well, as the dividend is huge, that's how the stock price also is 5,000 and something naira per share. But if you love dividend cash flow, that's a welcome stock. There are only two Nigerian stocks that pay dividend quarterly. So what you are seeing about Seplat is true. The other is NIDF. And this is something that is very important for dividend investors, particularly those planning for retirement soon, because you need regular cash flow. And it's encouraged as long as you are happy with the yield. In the end, dividend is all about what the yield is. Are you getting sufficient payout compared to the capital you put in? I think that's how to assess dividend stocks before you invest. In any case, as long as you love the frequency, it is actually true. In fact, if you buy it on the London Stock Exchange, I think that dividend is paid in hard currency, in cents, and then, or USD if you like. And then for the Nigerian listed ones, they convert. They will announce the dividend in USD, then convert to Naira for payment for Nigerian holders. Initially, it was not so. This was like, I always share this story about Seplat. I bought Seplat 350. I sold it 750. I thought that was the end. Today is 5,000. So as at that time when I bought Seplat, they were actually paying the USD direct in Nigeria. But, due to one or two foreign exchange issues and, of course, government policies now, they now have to be paying that in Naira converted. So that's about Seplat. So what you are saying is true, and I will advise you buy on the London Stock Exchange. It's amongst the 3 Nigerian companies listed on the London Stock Exchange as well as on the NGX. On to your second question about buying GTB on eToro. Now
I
that
bought
GT,
already.
yes,
I bought already, but it's not trading.
that GT you bought, is it GTHC or is the
GTC,
GDR? What's the ticker
GT, GTCO.L.
The ticker symbol is GTHC. Now, the one that used to be on eToro is actually the Global Depository Receipt. GTCO actually made that Global Depository Receipt tradable, but it was not listed as a normal stock until the GTHC, which is the one now officially listed, was listed. So I'll give you a few updates about that. Management of GT Bank actually is even offering the listed GTHC to those holding the GDR, which is what you bought on eToro. One
Okay.
for one stock of GDR for one GTHC. So what I think you should do is, I don't know if the registrars are the same, but I'd like you to find out from your broker. Just do an email, do a
Okay.
personal finding first by email. Eventually, you will also make that inquiry through the registrars of GTCO, or find out if there are registrars of the foreign GTCO,
Okay.
and then tell them you are a holder of the GDR and you are interested in converting to the GDCO, GDHC, that is now listed on the London Stock Exchange. So that's the situation with that.
Okay. 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 Thank you so much. I'm grateful.
Thank you very much. So we have 10 callers standing by. Let's see how quickly we can run. I said JK Money shall be the next. So we go on to hear her. Yes, all those who sent me requests on Instagram to join the club, Jachi Ugo, never mind, this weekend I'll respond to all of them. My apologies. It's not easy running left, right, and center, looking for opportunities in the US market immediately after the Nigerian session that we're having here now. So maybe going forward, I may have to find a way to make it easier for myself as well. But we will announce any adjustments in the future. Okay? Because it's not easy to deal with a whole lot of requests and all that at the same time. I'm still looking for opportunities. For instance, on a daily basis, I still have to post day trade opportunities for those who are good and are doing day trades. So a whole lot of demand, and all of these things for free. Eventually, we'll be having I'll be having more hands to join me, and of course, you pay for services such as that. So it's not been easy. All right, that call was not connecting. We go on to the next. I mentioned rainforest. If you are not following me, you are the one losing money. You will have to find a way to make the money you are earning start working for you. That's why I'm here. The calls are not connecting anymore. I do not know, but I will try again. Okay, Rehoboth is in the house. Gratitude boss. Thank you very much for joining. We'll bring you up and let's hear you. One of our moderators and executives of Net Worth Investors Club. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, someone just said, okay, Rainforest says the call is not connecting. If your call didn't connect, call back in. I know the queue of callers I have programmed to speak to. Hello, JK Money, are you there? Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, coach.
All right, if you would speak a bit louder, tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
Okay, good afternoon. I'm calling from Lagos. Can you hear me, coach?
You're calling from Lagos. Yes, I heard that. What's your name, please?
Okay, yeah, my name is Amira.
Amira, thank you. All the way from Lagos, we are glad to have you. Go ahead.
Okay. Company stock at the moment since we have like
I
some
didn't
one.
hear a thing. Can you disengage from where the noise is coming?
What size?
Alright, can you hear me now, coach?
Much better.
Okay. So I wanted to ask, like, concerning the insurance company that are like popping at the moment, that which one would be the right one to get as of today?
My first advice is to avoid the insurance companies. Watch because they are dipping now. If you are using an app, you are going to make a big mistake because they've been quoting yesterday's price for you, whereas they have almost all of them are on full offer. What that means is so much supplies in the market, nobody buying, no bids on the table. For instance, ICO has closed at 4 naira 19 kobo yesterday, currently 3 naira 80 kobo. If you are holding an app, you may just hold in bid at 4 naira 19 and buy higher, whereas you could have been able to buy at 3 naira 80 kobo. There are bids for that one, but the bids are low, 7 million, 4 million offers. That's the kind of pressure that has come upon these insurance stocks. So my professional advice is to let that sector settle down before you start taking position.
Okay, coach. And the second question is it the right is now the right time to buy the Sterling Bank, because I think it dropped from 8 tera to 7.50 as of today.
Okay, I'm going down to now check what the situation is with sterling. Currently 767. I'm thinking now down from 780 90 kobo it closed yesterday. It's looking like sterling will be establishing a new support level around 7. It's hardly going to drop below 7 with the kind of interest we have seen. So what happens is, even if the bids are less than the offers today, the difference is still as to say there is an overwhelming need to sell. 7 million offers versus 4 million bids. That is to say, you can start taking position now at around 7 naira 50 kobo or 745. The highest bid currently is at 741 and the lowest offer is at 767. In the fact there are 7 million bids versus 4 million offers, 7 million offers versus 4 million bids, those who are trying to sell can be pressured to sell to you at 7 naira 50 kobo per share. Now, you stagger your purchases. Do not go in with all the capital you have or the quantity you want to buy at once, hoping that it drops further again after you at 750 if it succeeds today. So you can buy even more lower. At that point, your entry price is now lower than the 7 naira 50 kobo initially bought. I hope that's clear and that explains it for you. But I do not see sterling going below 7 to sell at 6 naira something unless there's a major market sell-off. Is that okay?
Thank you, coach.
Thank you very much. Okay, we go on to the next. Where are those who are standing by? Chika, yes, you are amongst the top 4 first callers. So let's hear from Chika. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Coach.
Please tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
My name is Chika. I'm streaming from UK.
Thank you very much, Chika.
Yes, I want to always start by appreciating you and your team. I can call Moby for now. If I don't call your name, know that you are a member of the team. I appreciate you people.
Thank you.
He's always happy to be here. Please, I know you are not coach. You are not a member of staff of Chams PLC, but I'm one of the shareholders that have been waiting for the right issue. Till now, I've not gotten any email for them as regarding the right issue. What's the problem? What could be the problem?
Who is your broker?
Afri Investor.
That's the channel to get your rights processed.
Okay.
So what you will do now, send them an email telling them you've been waiting for the offer document, the rights issue form to complete because you are going to take up your rights. Let them furnish you with the form to apply for your rights. As long as you make funds available to the tune of whatever quantity you want to take up, then once you complete the form and send to them, they will process and submit to the registrars of Chams.
Okay.
Yes,
that's a good information from you. Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you very much. All right, next is musings and insights. Sounds very poetic and let's hear.
Hello, Coach.
Good afternoon. Please tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
My name is Moji. I'm calling from the United Kingdom. Thank
Good
you for
afternoon,
everything you
Moji.
do.
Thank you for joining. Go ahead.
Thank you.
It's been
My
a
question
while.
is,
Where have you been?
yeah, I've been around. I'm on Discord, so gleaning from there and learning as we go along. Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, so I wanted to just ask for long term, if I wanted to invest like 100,000 naira every month towards retirement, what would you suggest I do, regardless of the price that comes, just be averaging continuously?
Okay, that level of consistency, you need to invest in a good stock. And quite a good number are up there for you to just keep stacking up whatever you can throw in there. Number one, Dangote Cement.
Okay.
Consistently just keep throwing money in there. Dangote Cement in the next couple of months, maybe 1 year or less, should be selling for 700 without
Okay.
mincing words. Dangote Cement, Dangote Sugar, then let's see. Never mind where Nigeria things will turn around very soon.
Amen.
I don't think you need too many stocks to concentrate that kind of cash flow in. Aradel,
Okay.
yes.
Thank you. Any bank stocks at all to consider?
Oh, yes. If you like, you want to go into the banks, then of course, between Zenith and GTCO and UBA,
Okay. Thank you very much.
just consistency in the rest of actions. That's it.
Okay. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much. Okay. Next on the line should be Dozy Unlimited. Never mind, people. We are Nigerians. You know, we try to do our best to be there for you. I'm not in my base right now, as you can see. So these things will be sorted. Go ahead. Your name and where you're streaming from.
Hello, good afternoon, Coach.
Very good afternoon to you.
My name is Godwin, and I'm streaming from Akwa Ibom, Uyo, Akwa Ibom.
Godwin from Akwa Ibom, thank you for joining. Please go ahead.
Please, Coach, my question is straightforward and simple.
Right.
I noticed that Jaiz Bank, ever since it moved to the non-interest, what I call it, folder on Atlas portfolios and Morgan Capital, has been untradeable, if I might use that word. You can't buy, you can't sell, you can't even view the offer and bid status. So I wanted to find out if there is a way to go around it.
Actually, we experienced that in the first few days of it being moved to that board, the non-interest board. But ever since, like 2 days after we complained, I think that matter was sorted on Atlas. While you were talking, I still got back to check. I thought you wanted to know what's happening with it, but we can access everything. You can buy, you can sell on Atlas. You can view status as well. So
It is not happening on Morgan Capital, sir, which is my broker.
okay, that means you will need to contact Morgan and lay that complaint. I don't know why they haven't noticed it, but
I have actually written them, but there is no response, hence my outcry.
okay. You know what?
Publicly.
You follow me on Instagram.
I do, sir. I want to believe I do.
Request, and let me send you a number in Morgan.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
And call and pester them to do something about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you so much.
Right, sir. Okay, next caller, Kem Queen is next. After Kem Queen, Emanuela Amadi, you will be standing by to come on. Coach, good day. I participated in the rights offer of Wema Bank in April 2025. Till this moment, I haven't gotten any certificates or confirmation, or it's reflecting on my number of shares. What should I do? Dr. Frank, there are no more certificates anymore. Everything has been digitized these days. So what you should do is email your broker to help you dematerialize your Wema Bank certificate. That way, they will have the powers to proceed with your CSCS number and CHN number to retrieve those stocks so it can reflect in your portfolio. Thank you very much. Okay, that call didn't go through. Perhaps we missed it. Now we go on to Emanuela Amadi. After Emanuela, it shall be Fedi and then Adegboye. So you stand by accordingly. If you are in any noisy environment, please make provision for a quiet place so we can engage without hitches. Keep your comments coming in. I'll try to find a way to attend to them while we're waiting to connect. Currently, we're waiting for the connection with Emanuela. Chams and Japan Gold, which one is a good buy? I will say Chams. Japan Gold has a long-term future, but time needs to prove that. Sir, please, I downloaded the form for Chams Rights. How can I fill it as it's downloaded to fill it? Woody, how can you fill it? I'm a bit confused. It's very simple. Put in the number of, okay, divide the number of shares you have currently by 2. But please, the number of Chams you have as at 16th of June backwards. In case you bought more Chams after 16th, do not add those because those ones will not qualify for the rights. So do that and then multiply by 1 naira 70 kobo, make the cash available, fill all the other details, CHN number, all of those things, and then scan and send back to your broker. In this case, I guess it's Atlas. Can I sell UKAP and find better opportunities? Beauty Finds Shop. If I must be sincere with you, do not sell your UKAP. That's a long-term play, and I think it's as good as recovered now fully from the 2-for-1 bonus it gave last year. So I'll prefer that you leave it alone. It is now trying to, the dilution that came with that bonus offer saw to the fact that the interim dividend now dropped to 30 kobo per share, I think. They were paying, is it 550 kobo or something? But it shows you that the cash flow in that business continues. They are only now having to spread what they used to pay on too many extra shares, which came about by the bonus issue of last year. So they go again from here. If you sell, it won't be long before you start seeing UKAP around 25 and 30 again. So embrace that stock as one of your mainstay in your portfolio, as one of the mainstay in your portfolio, and just allow it grow and watch and see what happens. Yes? Right. Next caller, Fedi. Today we have sufficient time for the calls, and that's because, of course, extra 15 minutes was added. So let's keep going. Hopefully the calls connect. Unfortunately, that didn't go through. We go on to Adegboye. Hello, coach. Is livestock a good buy today, and at what entry price? Well, livestock feeds.
In the future, I don't want to see any problem.
Hello, sir.
Come here.
Yes, he's not aware. He called in, so we will just proceed to the next caller. Next is Financial Markets Queen. If you have Fugas, which would you top up and which would you sell? I'm not using proceeds of sale to top up, just trimming down. Which would I top up and which would I sell? Wow. Very difficult question there. As a matter of fact, I don't sell my Fugas. And that question is directed to me, and that's it. I don't sell my Fugas. I sold First Bank when they started underperforming, right? But I recently got back into First Bank. What I did was maybe I trimmed down because I see greater opportunity to grow whatever capital, but I don't sell my Fugas. For the benefit of those who may be wondering what is Fugas, it's the acronym for the top 5 banks, Nigerian banks, the top 5 indigenous banks listed on the stock exchange. We're talking about, in no particular order of ranking though, First Bank for F, UBA for U, GTCO for G, Access for A, Zenith for Z. That's Fugas. Please understand this, all right? So that you don't look lost in a circle where they're discussing these things. It's not rocket science. Fugas, the top 5 indigenous banks in Nigeria. Thank you very much. If you are not following me, you are losing a lot. Now, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. Go ahead and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. All that we're discussing here and will discuss in the future will be uploaded on a daily basis. That's a wealth bank, if you like, because going back on and on to those videos will give you an idea of where to channel money and what to do in the market every time the market opens on a daily basis. Thank you so much. G Girl, really appreciate. Thank you very much. Call me Canvey says, I was almost lost. Never mind. I got you. You will never be lost, right? Yomi is next. It's looking like the calls are not connecting. So that is also helping me to deal with some of more of your comments. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead. Your name.
Thank you, sir. I'm Obadofin Olorunyomi, calling from Lagos.
Olorunyomi, we appreciate you all the way from Ikeja. Go ahead, sir.
Yes. Thank you for the tutorial, sir. And I'm just new here, and I'm also new, but I have the Bamboo app on my phone. I've not started doing anything on it, so but I don't really know about it, sir. I don't know how to start. I'm just
all right.
And I want to, but I have a Fidelity Bank shares which I bought from their own branch there. So I don't know if I can use that same app to be doing that, sir.
First of all, congratulations. Your Fidelity Bank shares, perhaps you bought public offer at 9 naira something. Now, 1 naira per share. Awesome. Over 100%. Well done.
Wow.
Now, you are in the right place.
Thank
I'm
you,
going to get my co-host, Maobi, to talk to you about how to get started, how to keep going, and how to stay informed and knowledgeable doing this in this community with us. Hello, Maobi.
Thank you, sir.
Can you take on Yomi and just give him a brief insight on what is going on and how he can also capitalize on his progress so far?
Yeah, hello, Coach. So I will do that. Hello, Yomi. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, sure. Okay, I would like to start by, telling you or making you understand what we are doing here. From what you said, I believe you have maybe a little bit of knowledge, but
Yes, sir.
I'll still, tell you exactly what it is. Okay, so right here we are talking about investment in stocks and also in the money market. When we are talking about stocks, we are talking about investing and becoming a part owner of a company. For example, when you buy a stock of UBA Bank, that makes you a part owner of UBA. And that means that you will be sharing in the profits and also in the losses of UBA Bank as a company. That
Okay.
is, for instance, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And how you can, yeah, and how you can go into investing. First of all, you need to open a brokerage account. Now, see your brokerage account as a platform through which you can buy, through which you can hold, and also through which you can sell. With that being said, you cannot just walk into UBA Bank, for example, or walk into the Nigerian Stock Exchange and say that you want to buy UBA shares. No, that doesn't work that way. So you need to open this brokerage account that will give you access to the market.
Yes, sir.
When it comes to buying, you need to decide, you need to make a very good research and make sure that you are investing in a company that aligns with your goals. When you talk about goals, we always tell investors to define whether they want to invest in the long term or whether they want to invest in the short term, because these are two different things. By investing in the long term, you are going in for a very longer period of time.
Okay, sir.
You are not looking to take a very short-term advantage in the market. For example, in the past couple of days, if you've been following the market, you must have seen that the insurance sector, has been bubbling, and many investors went in with short-term funds. What they basically want to do is to buy, wait for the price to rise, and quickly run away with their profit or with their loot, like the coach will say. But if you are going in long term, you want to make sure that you are investing in a very stable company. You want to make sure that the company you are putting in your money is actually worth it for you, right?
Okay.
That
Yes,
is
sir. Yes,
where
sir.
the research part of it comes into play. So once you open your brokerage account and you decide on the stocks to buy, you can go ahead and bid and buy these stocks on the floor of the exchange. Now, remember I told you about the brokerage account. We
Yes, sir. Yeah.
recommend, by
Okay.
we, I mean all members of Networks Investors Club, we recommend that you use a broker that will give you live access to the market,
Okay.
because this is one of the key things that will make you be profitable or that can make you lose money in this market. If you are using a broker that is not live real time, there is a possibility that you might be buying stocks at outdated prices. And believe me, that's a very big loss for you. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
with that being said, just get yourself ready by improving on your knowledge, by staying in tune with everything that happens in the market, opening your brokerage account with a live broker, and making sure that you are investing without sentiment. Sentiments can kill you in this business. Literally, I'm telling you. If the market is moving up and down and you know that, look, I've invested in a very stable company, then you know that there is nothing to worry about. But if you keep your ears to the noises in the market and you want to buy or sell because everybody is buying or selling, then that is where there is a very big potential to lose money. So if you have any more questions, I'll be more than happy to answer you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. The brokerage account, sir. Which of these brokerage accounts is reliable for me so that I
Okay.
can
When
can
you talk,
follow?
Yeah. When you talk about reliability, then I will have to tell you that you can go with a licensed stockbroker,
Okay.
with the emphasis on licensed. Now, we are dealing in investments. And when you talk about investments, you are dealing in money, most times a very huge amount of money. So you don't want to be dealing with platforms that basically provide a third party service. So you can go on the NGX website, right? And you can find a list of all licensed brokers that you can find in Nigeria. Any one of your choice you can go, but for us, we are recommending what we have been using, which is Atlas Portfolio, not because they are perfect, not because any broker in the market is perfect, but because we think that you can get a good amount of service, while you are using them. So Atlas is a
Okay.
recommendation from the house, but of course, feel free to explore which other investment platform that is licensed.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate, sir. I understand now, sir.
Thank you so much. So before you go, one last thing I would like to add is that you can also join Network Investors Club, which is basically a support group of like-minded investors. This club is on Discord. Discord is an application just like WhatsApp. So
Okay.
you can download Discord, get yourself registered, follow Coach on Instagram, send him a DM to get the link to join the Discord group.
Okay, sir.
You are getting the link from him, for us to be safe, to make sure that we don't leave the group open for spammers and scammers, to enter the club. So once you do that, you can be sure that you get, information and guidance on the go.
Okay,
Okay?
sir. I have this course on my phone, and I'll be hoping to see the. Sir, can you send me the
Fantastic.
link, sir?
Just follow Coach on Instagram and send him a DM and you get the link.
Okay,
Okay?
sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you very much, Maui. Thank you.
Thank you so
Yes, sir.
much.
Okay, next caller. We lost Rainforest the last time. He's back. Let's see if we can quickly connect again. Rainforest, trying to reconnect with you as we make progress. It's not looking like it's coming through. Okay, if it's not, then we proceed to other things. How much is dividend does Seplat pay? I think they paid how much cents per share quarterly? Was it 4 cents or something like that? Just a moment. We'll go on to the next caller. I think Art. I don't know. You need to make use of a better username so we can easily be able to. Okay, that's too much noise in the background. Broadband deal. Perhaps that was a mistaken call, I guess. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. So many callers who do not intend to call in, mistakenly dialing in. Please check your connections and your.
Hi, good afternoon, Coach.
It's good to have you. Tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
Hi, finally, I was able to join. Hi, good afternoon. My name is Rainforest. I'm streaming from the UK.
Rainforest from the UK. Interesting stuff. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for your sessions. I have a few questions, though. So I registered Atlas broker recently, and I have funded my accounts. I just wanted to ask, as someone who is starting out in this market, what stocks would you advise them to buy? I have about 2 million naira I'm looking to invest in the market. And I'm trying to keep the number of stocks I hold as low as possible to like maybe 4, or 2, or something long term. I'm looking at investing long term. That's my first question. And also, is there a mobile app to trade with Atlas? Because I find that it's only when I get to use my computer that I can really, the interface of Atlas is clearer. When I use my phone, it's not very convenient.
Okay, actually, there is no app
Okay.
because
Okay.
of that. Data transmission is not real time on most of these apps. Second, if you like, Dangote Cement, Dangote Sugar, Aradel, and then you add one bank, I could say Zenith. That's the 4 you want. Keeping it limited to 4 stocks, I think that's a good collection.
Okay. Dangote Cement, Aradel, Dangote Cement, Zenith.
And Zenith.
Okay, thank you very much. I have another question. How do we carry out technical analysis on these stocks?
Where to carry out technical analysis?
Yeah, like where do we look out for like pointers for these stocks?
Well, you will have to get knowledge about that or subscribe to um, certain platforms to do that. I particularly don't know where to do that, but I have a feeling there are um, places to do that, like investing.com.
Okay.
It's a foreign website. They
Yeah.
have premium subscriptions that you can subscribe to pay and then maybe get access to those information.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Then one last question before I jump off the call. How do I measure a stock's performance for long-term investment? Say, the way you suggested that Dangote Cement and Aradel and the others are good, stocks to buy. What are the things to look out for to say, okay, this stock is performing well?
First, you need access to the financial report. Financial reports are available on the NGX website, www.ngxgroup.com. Second, you need some good knowledge of fundamental analysis. Maybe you should look for materials online to study how to understand fundamental analysis. A
Okay.
lot of times, if you go through some foreign um, um, resources on that, it may be a bit confusing because of the accounting reporting systems can be slightly different from how it is done on the NGX or in Nigeria. So, by and large, you just want to know the health of the company, how well they are doing regarding value creation for shareholders as well. So, you are looking at basically future um, performance or future value based on what they are doing now.
Yeah.
You can now decide that, oh, this stock is a bit cheap or it's valued. So you want to study amongst understanding fundamental analysis, you want to narrow down on the fair value of companies, then you search for how to um, execute a DCF, dollar cost, no, DCF, discounted cash flow method of valuing companies. The process is long, but I think you should start from somewhere. Just go on the NGX, go and search for instance, Aradel's financial report, right?
Yeah.
Usually, a financial report will give you the various financial statements comparing the previous year to the current year. So you want to look for proof in terms of revenue growth. If a company made 500 billion as revenue in 2024, you want to see 550 billion or 600 billion in 2025.
Right.
That shows there's some progress. Then you go on down to the profit after tax, which is the main thing outside whatever revenue being generated. So that's the way to go. But it's not something that can be taught live.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much for this crucial point. I really appreciate it, Coach. Thank you very, very much.
All right, thank you. Bye.
All right. Yeah, yeah.
Didin FX, I think you are next. Let's try to keep the calls as brief as possible because before you know it, we'll start running out of time and we still have more callers standing by. Currently, 9 callers standing by, and the VFD has touched 12, up from the 11 something that it was trading. One of the best insurance stocks, most loved insurance stocks, I can tell you, is Mutual Benefits Assurance. That stock from under 1 naira is now 381, even though others are dropping. So then Mansard Insurance also has demand. There's a strong demand for Mansard. 4 million shares bidded for, 2 million on offer. So some of the insurance stocks are now reversing, and it's looking interesting whether you can start taking some long-term position. Okay. Oh, we got the last person on, but eventually lost him again. All right, let's go on to Jaiz. Hello, Jaiz. Okay, it's not connecting yet. I could take some comments while we're waiting to connect with the next caller. Okay, Jaiz was offering some advice there. It says, I look at executive summary, financial report, and stock trends in the last 5 years. Please, Coach, how can I buy shares via ETF in Nigeria? Still through your stockbroker. There is the ETF board. As you can see, if you use Atlas, there are various ETFs listed there. Greenwich ETF, ME Growth ETF, Ma Value ETF, New Gold ETF, Stanbic ETF 30, Vet Bank ETF, all manner of ETFs right there. So, but please do your research, because even the strongest ETFs, talking about Stanbic ETF 30, experienced some serious hitches along the line, and some people were really frustrated when they saw that ETF drop to 252 naira per share per ETF, all the way from the 500 and 600 that it was selling for. It's currently recovering. I'm talking about the Stanbic ETF 30. That's always the ETF I would recommend to people. So that particular downturn or dip for that ETF was something else. Okay, Patrick Onori. After Patrick, we have Vixen Bright. So please stay away from the noises around you before you call in. I'm giving you pre-information so that you can prepare accordingly.
Hello, good afternoon, Coach.
Very good afternoon to you. Tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
Yes, my name is Patrick Onori, calling you from Delta State.
Patrick from Delta. We are glad to have you.
I really want to appreciate you for the good work that you're doing. God will bless you for us in Jesus' name.
Amen.
What I want to ask for is a plea. You sent me the link to the Investors Club twice. The second time, after I finished the meeting with you, I was on the transit. So when it came in, I did not know when it came in. So upon logging in, I discovered that the link has expired. So I want to plead, I'm begging for a resend, sir.
Not a problem. Just resend your request. I will gladly do that, especially this weekend. There are backlogs of requests that I have not been able to meet up with because of time.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the link expires because it is for the cyber security and safety of members. That way, you hardly get intruders coming in. So just stay patient. Even if it expires after I sent it, perhaps you didn't see it early enough, you can always request, and then I will send to you. Vixen Bright. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Coach. I'm Victor, and I'm streaming from the UK. I just have a thank you for everything you're doing for this selfless service. There is a common saying that the worth of a man is known by how he treats those who can add nothing to his life. You're doing a great job just to ensure that you are pulling so many people up. Not be selfish with the knowledge you have. You're getting it out willingly without charging anybody. It's a good thing, and I commend you for that. And I salute your where am I going to put it now? Your kindness. Thank you very much. I just want to clarify something quickly because I also spoke to you, and I intend to join your club. Perhaps be able to pick one or two things from there. And then I told you that I have this little money that I intend to use to invest in somewhere in Nigeria. I got a message from a number, and the number is claiming to be you, actually. But I'm a little bit careful. He said I should download an app, CoinMarketCap, just to be sure if it is from you.
Please, sir. First of all, thank you very much. You are amongst the smartest people here. And you've just even not only saved yourself, you have saved anybody else who is listening right now. And we keep saying this over and over. People are cloning my page, creating all sorts of fake accounts using my DP to get into people's inbox. I repeat again, I will not come into your inbox first. Please, everybody listening, understand this line of defense. I will not follow you back. It's for your protection. Because if I follow you and then these criminals use my DP to come chat with you, you will get confused. You will think I'm the one. So anybody who comes into your DM first using my photos is a criminal. Block them, report the account, and what have you. But most importantly, be safe and have nothing to do with any of such people. Second, they'll be asking you to download app that I have never mentioned here before. The only app I tell you about is the Discord app, which is a general communication app just like WhatsApp application, right? Now, for investing, I don't even use apps, and I've always shared the one I use. Why should I spend 2 hours talking to people and still now sneak into their DMs without telling them something differently? That's why communication, even on the Discord app, is open. Do not be lured away from that open discussion, because these are the ways these criminals find a way to get people to, send them money. So, Victor, I'm very glad that you held back and exercised tact and restraint with that criminal. In the end, they will make you download an app, and then you will put in your details in that app, and they'll start sapping you from there. Or they will send you account details to make certain payment, telling you you have started trading on that app, and you will see a few things and feel you are doing the right thing. Please, everything is done here in the open. I will not come into your DM to ask you for anything. When you join Network Investors Club as well, nobody is permitted to start asking you to bring money to do nothing. That's the reason why another line of defense, Network Investors Club, is a do-it-yourself club. We tell you everything you need to do for yourself. You make certain decisions by yourself. It's up to you to use whichever broker you are happy with. Just take the information and the instructions we share here, analysis and all that, to your advantage. That's all. So please avoid that criminal.
Thank you very much. Because I don't know, I even have the number which is chatting with Nigeria number, and he gave me another number which is US number +1 that you contact that number. I want to credit my account. So I was just playing along, I was just playing along. I was like, no, this guy is not serious. And you telling me to go to coin market, I know this is not coach. This is not the line is operating.
Exactly. Thank you very much. And I'm sure everybody heard this now. So do not fall prey to those criminals. Somebody called in here some other time. By the time he was calling in to clarify, they've already collected 600,000 from him. The question is, you are sending money in the name of investing, to an account that is private, individual names, name and surname, private account. How smart is that? But you know, these people get involved in all sorts of things, and somebody also called in that day to say, well, they might have also gotten involved in diabolic means to maybe hypnotize their callers or their praise. So hopefully, we just avoid all these things with all these lines of defense put in place for everybody to understand. Once you see any tricky moves, I won't come and tell you about app. What app? We are talking stocks on the NGX, and somebody is telling you app is behind, claiming to be me. That's not me. Very simple. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So I'm still looking forward to joining your club. We shall be trying
Yes,
ever since I've become
yeah.
a member. Unfortunately, I have not had. You have not sent the link to me, and it's difficult to be part of the team.
Okay. No, never mind. Just repeat your message to me on Instagram. I hope to use this weekend to respond to all of those requests.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Guys, ladies, stay alert. Nobody fools you. When you know it's so mad. You have some level of knowledge and skill. All you think of is to swindle others. The world that you live in, to undo some other person will so punish you, you won't believe it, if you don't stop. Because some of them join the live stream, follow up discussions, and try to go and mimic me or say something and so on, just to get people they can cheat on. Be careful. If you are here listening to me now, again, be careful. You are toying with people that God has decided to help. Anything you take from them will punish you if you like. Don't change. One day you will be exposed. How can you tell somebody about investing and everything, and then you are now sending an account? It's a private account. That's how dumb you are. Okay, I don't want to get upset right now because it offends me a lot why people will not use their brain for productive things. I will go on to the next callers because we have just 13 minutes left. But I think it's enough lesson for everybody to stay alert and be on guard. All right? We want your progress. We are here to grow your network, not to fleece you or to swindle you. Chinedu is next. Northside Wigan says, Coach, is it okay to buy Seplat Energy at the current price? Well, they continue to create value. Just know that there will not be much, it will not be easy for capital gains anymore. That stock has been milked a lot. So that's the challenge. Alenye Ezekiel, if you are asking about what stocks we are buying today, well, everybody is trying to hop on UNH in the foreign markets. And then, of course, I would also recommend a stock like, well, these are my opinions and not a recommendation, right? If you agree with me, then another stock to look at is Intel's. In the next couple of months ahead, Intel will make you rich. In the foreign market, pay attention to that stock. I'm trying to check what happened with that stock yesterday, for instance. I've done my research on that stock and it looks like there is some good future for it, considering the fact that it's just done only 17% year to date. In fact, 6 months ago, it's done negative 2%, but I think we have touched the bottom of Intel's, and your capital is safe going forward from here. Even if there's going to be a dip in the market, it won't dip too low. Yesterday, it gained about 7%, closing at $23.86. Today, in pre-market, I'm seeing it at $24.57. Long-term positioning as always, guys. Thank you very much. Amare says, Coach, please, what's the right spelling of the Atlas portfolio? Because I can't find it using a web. Atlas has double S. Portfolio also add an S. So, portfolios. Rahab Abdul says, Coach, is it possible to use my CHN and CSES of another broker to register with Atlas? Yeah, it is possible. Okay, so next caller, and we have Favi. After Favi, Charlie Moore. After Charlie Moore, CJ. Okay, all right, let's keep going. 10 minutes before today's session is over. Good afternoon. Hello, are you there, Favi? Or was it?
Hello, Coach. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Please
Chama Meshano.
step
I'm on call.
from the noise
Hello.
and let's hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello,
Your
Coach. Can you
name,
hear me?
where you're streaming from.
Okay, I want to thank you for the last time I called. I've
Okay.
sorted out my Zenith Public offer shares. I've finally got it on my Atlas portfolio. That's what I want to
Wonderful.
thank for. Like,
Oh, wonderful.
it's already sorted out.
Excellent. That's very happy
Thank you,
right
sir.
now. Thank you very much. And thank you for
Yeah.
coming back and let us know it's been
Thank
sorted. I
you.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Charlie Moore is next. After Charlie Moore, then we have CJ. Okay. Coach, please, VFD or UKAP for long term. Well, you can always come back to buy VFD since it's already at a very good discount. But UKAP, maybe you should just have some more right now because UKAP should be paying interim dividend. Okay, I think they've announced that already. Well, that's it. More. Are you there? Good afternoon. Winifred Nkunde says, Coach, please, which stocks to buy for children? Well, if you ask me for children, I would want to go, let's see, children. I've always mentioned QTICs. I've always mentioned, I think now our children, yes, that reminds me. Everyone who has taken position for children already in most of those QTICs, Chams, Cornhole, tip and all that, I think you should plan for the insurance stocks when they settle down. I'll advise we find a way to add because they have time on their side. I'm talking about our children now, and the insurance industry is going to experience some serious change, which is going to be positive. And so, anybody who gets it now in the next couple of years, the insurance industry will not be the same again. Okay, Charlie Moore, are you there now? Hello,
There's no point selling my linkage.
hello, Charlie Moore. All right, it's looking like Charlie Moore is not aware that he or she has called in. So we go on to CJ. Dangote sugar gaining 3 naira today.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Yeah, CJ.
CJ, tell us where you're streaming from.
I'm
Follow
streaming
you.
from Oxford.
CJ for the UK. Thank you for joining. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask two questions. One answered it already. For Chams, I wanted to know if we can still buy more for the long term, but yeah, you just mentioned, so that's sorted. Then the second one, I bought, and during one of the sessions you did some weeks ago, you slightly mentioned the stock Royal X, and you said it can make us some quick money. So I bought it immediately. You mentioned it. It was at 156
Wow.
at that time, and it
Awesome.
went. It was at three something yesterday, but now it's I think 285. I don't know how much it is currently. But
257.
I wanted to confirm with you: is it something I should still hold? Is there still prospect for it to go?
First of all, I want to commend your swiftness in the market. You just behave like a sniper there. You got that Real X won something. I remember clearly when I mentioned it.
Yeah,
In fact, I actually went after the session to look for it to buy myself and couldn't find because at that point
yeah,
it
it
was
was fast for
too
some
late.
days. Yeah.
Now, what's happening in the insurance industry? I predicted if you watch yesterday's video, unfortunately, the first yesterday's video is not there, but on the YouTube channel, I mentioned supplies will come. Most of them will now be abundantly available. In fact, full offers. Then this is another era in the revolution going on in the insurance industry. They will not dip to your entry prices anymore. Assurance number one. Royal X will not touch down at 1 naira anymore. So what's happening is profit taking going on. Those who run in with hot money are trying to take out their money to hold their profit first. Then another group of holders will go in while this pullback is happening. Those are the people who want to enter for the second round of rally. It will happen again. May not be as much as the first, but this back and forth will continue until the recapitalization exercise with public offers, rights issue, takeovers, mergers will take over the entire industry. After the dust settles, Royal X might be a 5 naira stock. So, two things here. If you actually put in short term funds and you really need the money, you are still in very good profit, you can sell. The only disadvantage for now is that it's not in supply. All 56 million shares staked for today were sold off. Currently, no more bids, 12 million offers. And there are still some transactions going on there at 270. I don't know who else is going in to buy. But the fact is, as we speak, Royal X will eventually, maybe from next week, start being in supply again. And then an equilibrium will set up whereby you now have, for now, you have 11 million offers, zero bids. From next week, offers will be, bids will be coming in, and eventually an equilibrium will be established at some point. Then the bids will start mounting again more than existing offers, which will see the prices start going up. So there's no cause for alarm if you can hold it for the long term, because most of these stocks we bought before this rally, we will never see them at those prices again.
Yeah. Okay. So I can also top up. Do you advise I
Yes,
can
you
also top
can.
up?
Now, the way to go ahead with the top-up plan is wait for when there will be supplies, because if it's going to close at 2 naira 70 kobo down from the 285, it closed yesterday, it means next week it can sell less than the 270. So no point buying now at 270 when there is a chance for it to sell lower next week.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Then the second question, sir, is it's regard dematerializing shares that were bought, you know, in on the directly from the primary market. There are some shares for the instance that my mom bought me some shares many years ago,
Mhm.
PNB and First Bank. I've reached out to Atlas. We are still on the process, but we've been on it since April. I've also reached out to the registrars. I've changed the mandate, the dividend mandate. I received my FCMB dividend yesterday, actually, funny enough, into my account. Shares my mom bought for me. And I've also registered to receive my First Bank account dividend. But my problem is getting those shares into my Atlas portfolio. I don't know how long it takes.
Okay, you will have to stay very patient because that's even a trickier one to do. The fact that you started receiving dividends from some shows that work is in progress. Now, it was bought on your behalf, meaning you didn't sign
No.
then. That makes it trickier, but it's easier because you are now processing through a broker who must have verified you. So that gives the registrars some level of comfort that they are not dealing with a stranger. A broker has verified this individual and let the process continue. The truth is, it's completely out of Atlas's hands or any other broker you are using to gather your stocks, doing a global search and all that. And sometimes also CSCS has issues with their connections and glitches here and there. By and large, they are in process and it will eventually come to an end. And all your stocks will eventually appear on your dashboard. So stay patient, do reminders once in a while, and look out for more unclaimed dividends dropping if there are.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's already 2 p.m. Unfortunately, in spite of allowing extra 15 minutes to receive calls, this is the much we can take. There are still a few calls standing by to be taken, but I think we've done a lot for the day, considering the time left. I'd like you to stay grounded and be sure and assured that you are under very good guidance. You are utilizing my 27 years in the stock market. It's not a waste. Now it will continue to benefit you for as long as you are here. Remember, on the international stage, UNH is going to be flying. And of course, I've just mentioned another name, Intels. I think that stock is primed to now begin to return good value for shareholders and so on. So ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Network Investors Club, this is me saying a very big thank you to you all for being a part of this, and of course, for liking, for sharing, for giving gifts on all screens. And by the way, my in-house co-host, Maobi himself, has been fantastic. I may not have noticed if Atlas Portfolios was in the house, but hopefully going forward, we will have them in. I'm not sure they were in today, but never mind. Use every other channel possible to reach out to them if you have any concerns. And of course, we will continue our interactions on Network Investors Club. Stay grounded, never panic. You know what you are doing. Risk comes from not knowing what you are doing. And because we know what we are doing, we are not taking unnecessary risks. But you know what? We anticipate, we gather information, we analyze, and then we step into the market knowing what to expect. And more often than not, they always turn out good for us. Maobi, can you come and say your goodbyes as we wish everyone a fantastic weekend ahead?
Yeah, thank you so much, Coach. I think I'll be relying on the same words that you closed your submission with. Do not panic. Stay true to your investment goals. Stay true to your plan, and you can find yourself successful in this market. Thank you so much, everybody, and hope to see you on Monday. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much. And just Evermark is asking, Evermark Luxury says, please the link for the club. Everyone, you want the link to join Network Investors Club, just download go on YouTube, Instagram, sorry. Follow me on Instagram, send me a DM there, and then I'll send you the link. Today's live stream will be uploaded on the YouTube channel right away. So maybe a few hours from now, you will see it there. Use the weekend to go through and strike on Monday accordingly. Until we see again, same time, 12 noon to 2 p.m. Nigerian time on Monday. This is me saying a very big thank you and have a great weekend.